welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video, we are going to be doing another X-Wing How to Fly. In this series, I basically tell you guys and teach you guys how to fly certain ships. With that said, that's what it's supposed to be. Really, I tend to just tell you my strategies, how I choose to fly these ships. And you can basically take the way I choose to fly them, take my strategies, and apply them to your own game. With that said, everyone has their own way of playing this game. Everyone has their own strategies. The way I choose to look at these ships might help you come up with your own strategies for the game. But nothing I say in this video is a has to be this way. It's more or less the way I do it, and the way I do it might help you. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about X-Wing How to Fly. Which ship are we going to be flying in today's video? Alright, so here we are going to be talking about another one of my favorite ships in Star Wars, and another one of my favorite ships in the game. We are going to be discussing how to fly the A-Wing. Now, the A-Wing is just such a cool little fighter. I love the shape and design of it as well. It's a really cool looking ship. But what do I really like about this ship the most is it's just a fast interceptor. It's an interceptor. It can intercept the enemies and throw everything it's got at it. Unfortunately, the thing about interceptors is they just don't have very many, I'm going to say, livability. Even though I know that's not a word. The game that I've ever played with this ship has the A-Wing survived? Yes, I end up killing the A-Wing every time. Maybe it's because of my strategy. But even though I lose the A-Wing, my strategy that I will explain to you here in a second, my strategy still wins me the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the A-Wing. First off, its points cost. If you look at its points cost, it's a pretty darn cheap ship, which is another reason why I really love this ship. It can hold missiles, and it's only this many points. A lot of ships that can hold missiles are not this cheap. That actually gives this ship kind of a big hit. Not to mention this ship has a white. A lot of ships have a red, but this ship has a white boost action. So not only does it have missiles, it has a boost action. And it's only for that many points? Let's look at its quick builds. Now, me and my dad, we actually play modified quick builds. We take the quick builds and then we modify them to our strategy. You know, certain quick builds work, but other quick builds, you know, they just need a different card to work better in your strategy. So that's what we tend to do. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and real quick, look at my A-Wings. Look at my A-Wings. Now, there actually is a 2.0 A-Wing paint job that I do not have. It's blue, but its paint job is totally different, and I totally want it. I do not have that paint job yet. I will buy that paint job. And I also don't have the Resistance A-Wing. I must get the Resistance A-Wing eventually, because I am just a big fan of the A-Wing. Now, the Y-Wing is, I actually like the Y-Wing more than the A-Wing, but I can't help it. In terms of my favorites list, the A-Wing is going to be in at least my top 5, especially for the Rebels. So now that we've looked at my A-Wings, let's go ahead and check out the pilots. Here are the pilots. Pretty cool pilots. My favorite pilot when it comes to the A-Wing is Jake Farrell. Jake Farrell. Let's go ahead and read his ability. After you perform a boost or barrel roll action, you may choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 1. That ship may perform a focused action. That's actually pretty good because that means you can give, I don't know, double focus tokens to your heavy hitter ship. Of course, it has to be very close. Range 0 to 1 means that you have to fly it within a tight formation, and I generally don't. So even though this is my favorite pilot to use, I tend not to keep my A-Wing in formation at all. And the simple reason why is because they just don't have too many lives. If you're keeping them in tight formation, that gives your opponent a chance to attack it easier. I feel like this ship's better ability is just to go straight up crazy, wild, and play as the decoy. This ship is really the best position for it is a decoy ship. Get your opponent's attention, try to fly out of your opponent's range only for your main attacker to fly up behind it and blow it sky high. I like the decoy aspects to the A-Wing, and I use it all the time. Not to mention, it's a very fast ship. I mean, look at its dial. Well, let's just briefly check out its dial, shall we? I mean, 5 speed and 5 turnaround. Now, of course, the 5 turnaround is stressful, but not a lot of ships can go 5 speed and can do a backflip 5 as well. That is a pretty awesome ship. And if you use that in the right kind of way, like I said, if you use this ship as sort of the decoy, send it out as fast as you can. If you lose it, okay, you lost it. You didn't lose too many points. But if you use it as a decoy, if you use that speed to this ship's advantage, because this ship, it can pretty much turn on a dime. It has 1 hard turns and 3 hard turns. Doesn't have 2 hard turns, but it does have 2 evades. Doesn't have any 1 banks either. But I mean, my God, 1 hard turns and 3 hard turns. This ship can pretty much move on a dime if you use its move ability to your and its advantage. Then it definitely can draw in the enemy and get out of fire range. Especially because it has a boost action. Even if you're not going to be using this ship to attack very much, at least you can use that boost action to get out of the enemy's way. That's a really handy ability. Every time I use the A-Wing, this is the strategy I go with. And even though, yes, I have never won a game without losing the A-Wing, I have never gotten an A-Wing to survive a game whenever I use this strategy, I still win the game. Because this strategy works. It's a lot of fun. Plus, I'm kind of only going after the same people, me, my dad, and my uncle. There's not too many people in the house that play this game with me. But, I do really like it. So let's look at this ship's stats. And boy, do this ship have some awesome stats. 2 attacks. 3 evades. 3 evades. 3 evades, guys. 3 evades. That's really handy, especially for a ship with so few lives. You want them 3 evades. And with that boost action, you can hopefully boost your way out of the opponent's uh, uh, out of the opponent's firing arc. Let's go over its stats here. 2 hull, 2 shields. It's a very weak ship. It only got 4 lives. If somehow a bomber does catches you, which in my case it usually does, if somehow a bomber does catches you, you're gonna die. There's very, very few chances you have when it comes to surviving with an A-Wing. But with that said, the A-Wing is still a very great ship to fly. It has a focus token, so you can take focus shots. It has an evade, of course. It has a targeting computer, which is good because this thing can fire missiles. This thing has 5 speed, boost actions, and it can fire missiles when it does have a chance to shoot. That's pretty darn incredible to me, which is why I love this ship. Again, the boost action is at the bottom, but it also have barrel rolls, which also help you out, because if you are just at the edge of a enemy's firing arc, well, guess what? You might be able to barrel roll your way out of firing range and again survive. Not for very long, but you'll be able to survive. Handy ship. I love this ship. Let's go ahead and look at the upgrade cards that I like putting on it, shall we? So the upgrade cards that I like putting on it is, I really, if you are going to get in that close to a ship, Intimidation is a fun card to use. While an enemy ship at range 0 defends, it rolls 1 fear defense dice. If you got too close, well, at least it can't throw too many defense dice against your attack now. Expert handling is great for this card. Ablot plane is pretty good. Before you would suffer damage from an obstacle or from a friendly bomb in case you got too close to a friend throwing a bomb, spin 1 if you do prevent the damage. Prevent 1 damage. Proton rockets. Again, it's a missile card, a rocket card. If you're in a tight bind and you got too close to an enemy ship, you might be able to throw one of these at it and throw 5 dice. Of course, they have to be in your 12 o'clock, but if you're that close to an enemy ship, chances are they're going to be in your 12 o'clock anyway, so that's handy. But personally, I try not to fly this ship too close to enemies because of its low life. I tend to just throw concussion missiles on, so if I do have the chance to attack with it, I can. It's better used as a decoy ship, definitely not your main muscle ship. If you're going to be using this ship, I would highly recommend using it alongside something that does have heavy hitters, like a Y-Wing or an X-Wing. With that said, one of my favorite ships, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the A-Wing in the comments below. I am out. Bye.